Want to know the real reason you don't get any better even though you spend time practicing? It's because you're probably using fast twitch muscle to play guitar. And fast twitch doesn't make you fast. It actually makes you slow. I know it sounds crazy, but fast twitch muscle is one of the main reasons why intermediate players have a hard time getting to an advanced level. Fast twitch actually makes you lose speed and control because it's designed for something completely different. If you're a guitar player and you're using fast twitch muscle, you'll feel it because you'll be tight and you'll be uncomfortable and you'll feel like you have a limitation on your playing. But luckily, there's a much better way to play faster, cleaner, and more relaxed. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to show you how to avoid using fast twitch muscle and use something else in its place. And it doesn't even really matter what kind of style of guitar you play, whether you're a blues rock guy, classical guitarist, country chicken picker. By learning to use less fast twitch muscle, you're actually going to improve way faster with the same amount or even less practice time. So I'm sure you've probably heard how great fast twitch muscle is, how it's used for power and explosiveness, how athletes are always chasing faster twitch muscle. See, it's designed for explosiveness and power because when a fast twitch muscle fiber contracts, it contracts with a lot of energy and really quickly all at once. But the drawback to this is that it fatigues super quickly. So think about the heaviest weight you could possibly lift. Let's say that's like 150 pounds. In order to lift that, you need to use all of your energy all at once in like a really explosive motion. Your fast twitch muscles will fire rapidly and generate enough power to lift all that weight, but how long could you keep that going? How many times could you do that? If it's your maximum, then probably 1 or 2 repetitions at most. You can't do it for very long. That's the problem with fast twitch. Trying to play with control and accuracy and speed all at once, fast twitch actually works against you because you use up everything you've got and you got nothing left in the tank, and then what happens? Your technique falls apart. So the question is, how do you know if you're even using fast twitch muscle? I mean, it's not like you have a microscope inside your muscles so you can see what's going on. You know that you're using fast twitch muscle by how relaxed you are when you're playing. Think about how easy it is to play a C chord. You don't need to squeeze really hard. You don't need to cramp and tighten. So you need to pay attention to how your hands, your fingers, your arms feel when you're playing something really challenging, near the limit of what you're capable of. Do you notice that as you're playing that really difficult piece of music, that you start tightening and you start losing your relaxation? That's like a big flashing signal that says, stop using fast twitch muscle fiber. And you can actually trick yourself because you might start something really well and think like, oh, I'm going all right, and then a mistake will happen, and then you'll tighten, and you'll think you tightened because you made some mistake, or you started cramping or losing relaxation because of a mistake, when in reality, that mistake happened because you were using the wrong fiber. See, when you use fast twitch fiber, you're okay for a little bit. You know, you can do 1 or 2 repetitions of really heavy weight, but then that 3rd or 4th one starts to deteriorate, and it's the same thing with guitar playing. You can start a lick that or a passage that's really difficult on guitar, and you can start that using fast twitch. But because fast twitch fatigues so quickly, you'll start making mistakes really soon. And then that will just snowball and catapult into this like catastrophe of technique. So instead of trying to be a sprinter, you actually want to be a marathon runner, and that uses an entirely different system. You know how when you watch some guitarists play and it's like they're not even trying? Like they just look effortless as they dance around the fretboard or fly through fast picking passages. It's because they're using the correct muscles. In order to do that, you need to be able to produce the same high quality movement every single time without stopping. And this is where slow twitch muscle comes in, not fast twitch. See, slow twitch muscle fiber is the type of muscle you use to keep your posture upright as you walk around all day, or the type of muscle used by a marathon runner. They're designed to be used constantly without really getting fatigued. It's basically like cruise control for your body. But here's where things get a little bit interesting. There are no slow twitch muscles in the human hand, only fast twitch muscles. And that's super important because every time you're using muscles in your hand, that means you're by default using fast twitch. So I just spend a ton of time telling you why you shouldn't use fast twitch, and then I go and say, hey, all your hand muscles are only fast twitch. So how are you supposed to avoid using your hands to play guitar? The more action you put into your hand, the more fast twitch muscle you're using. So what we want to do is we want to learn how to take action and movement out of our hand and put it somewhere else where we can use more slow twitch and have that balance sort of shift in favor of more slow twitch, less fast. See, the way we control our fingers is through a combination of hand muscles and forearm muscles. But your forearm also has slow twitch, where your hand really doesn't. So if you can learn how to shift the movement of your fingers from your hand into your forearm, you're going to start finding yourself improving way faster and being able to stay relaxed, play with more control and more efficiency. So we know 3 things for sure about our muscles so far. Fast twitch won't last long, and it'll make you cramp and slow down the longer you keep using it. Your hands only have fast twitch muscle, and your forearm has slow twitch muscle, but it also has control over your fingers. So you're going to want to replace some of that motion that's originating in your hand with motion originating in your forearm so you can use more slow twitch. When you bend a finger from the big knuckle only, you're using mainly forearm muscles. But when you're bending from the 2 small knuckles, you're using more hand muscles. And this is critical to how you play guitar. So maybe you can see where I'm going with this. The more you use your small knuckles, the more fast twitch you're using. But on the flip side, the more you use your big knuckles, the more slow twitch you engage in your forearm, and the longer and more relaxed you'll be able to play. Let's say you're going to play a hammer-on. Most people who use the wrong technique will play it with their small knuckles, basically extending their finger and curling it as it comes back towards the fretboard. Whereas advanced players will take their finger away using only the big knuckle, and their finger remains curved, and there's no motion in the small knuckles at all, meaning that all the motion, all the activity is coming from your forearm using slow twitch muscle. But this also applies to finger picking. If you're using your small knuckles to pick the strings, then you're just asking for trouble. You're basically guaranteeing tension in your hand. Because if you think about it, when you're finger picking, you're pretty much doing that like non-stop. And you're using your thumb, maybe these 2 fingers, maybe your ring finger, but most of it is these 3. And you're just going to be doing them non-stop using pretty much all hand muscle. And we already know where that's going to lead you. Not only are you guaranteeing tension in your hand, but when you use your small knuckles, you actually end up plucking away from the guitar because you have to get underneath the string and pull outward. It pulls your hand away. So now not only are you adding tension to your hand and reducing relaxation, but you're doing that while being super far away from the guitar. Now compare this motion with using the big knuckle. You can see that when I use my big knuckle, I pick straight up into my hand instead of pulling out away from the guitar. Not only that, but I'm not even using hand muscles. It's all coming from my forearm. And with the big knuckle, I can play quickly, I can play smoothly, I can play relaxed, and I can do it non-stop all day long without ever tightening. And I mean, that right there is one of the biggest goals any guitar player should be striving for. So the number 1 thing I can recommend is to reduce the amount of fast twitch muscle you use when you're playing. And in order to do that, start using more big knuckle motion and less small knuckle. Now, that doesn't mean you can't use any small knuckle. This isn't black or white. Like I said, there's not really any motion on the guitar that only uses slow twitch or only uses fast twitch. They use a combination. What you want to do is use more slow twitch and less fast. So take a good hard look at your playing. Watch carefully as your left hand moves through some passage on the guitar. Watch carefully as you're finger picking. Where is that motion coming from? Are you using a lot of small knuckle, or are you using big knuckle, or are you using a combination? And if so, which one is dominant? That's really important to know, because then you can begin to make the switch towards more big knuckle and less small knuckle. And if you want to learn how to apply this concept to right hand picking or more details about how to apply it to hammer-on, check out these videos. And remember, as the Navy SEALs like to say, slow is smooth and smooth is fast.